Gallup, polling agency that's, excuse me, fairly credible, does a poll, recent poll just out, 1,001 adults. They just couldn't do 1,000. They had to do 1,001. But they shouldn't be polling adults. That brings down the credibility of the Gallup poll. It should be registered voters, people who are engaged in a process, not people smoking crack in, some kind of commune someplace. Yeah, they can vote, but they don't know anything. So why poll them? So the very simple question, do you approve or disapprove of the way Joe Biden is handling his job? This is Gallup. Approve 38, disapprove 58, no opinion 4. Okay. Then Gallup lists the modern presidents at this time in their office, about 3.5 years, okay? Biden has the lowest approval rating of any of them, all right, at 38%. So George H.W. Bush, 42%, that was the recession. Barack Obama, 46%, Trump, 47%, Carter, 48%, W. Bush, 51%, that was 9/11, still resonating. Bill Clinton, 53%, good economy under Clinton. Nixon, 54%, Reagan, 54.5%, Eisenhower, a whopping 73%, because the Korean War was winding down and it was the 1950s. Okay, so Biden, in modern times, is the lowest job approval rating, period, of any of them. But Nancy Pelosi goes, she's spectacular. So the facts are the facts. CNN poll, I did this yesterday, I don't want to do it again, has Trump up by 6 over Biden. And when RFK and the others in the mix, Trump's up by 9. So I reported that last night on the No Spin News. And I also said, I don't believe the poll. And I don't. I think it's much tighter than that. But I could be wrong, right? Yeah. Joining us now is a guy who's rarely wrong, and he's a pretty precise man. His name is Doug Schoen, coming to us from Miami. He's a Democrat political strategist. Has a book out you might check. 4 Presidents, Kennedy, Nixon, Biden, Trump, Leaders Who Changed History in Changing Times. Okay. So when you saw the CNN poll come out, you said to yourself, what?
I said, as I should, Bill O'Reilly's right again. That is, this is a very close race, Bill. It's a couple of points either way. I don't think Trump has a 6 or 9 point lead. I certainly don't think, given his approval rating, Biden has a lead at all. But basically, given where the race is, given where it was in 2020, this is a couple of point race either way, with the advantage to Trump for the reasons you cite, the low approval of Joe Biden.
Okay. Now, is anything likely to change? I have said, and I believe this to be true, it's just a gut guess. Something going to happen between now and the vote in November. Something fairly significant that's going to tilt it one way or the other. But say that doesn't happen. Is there anything that could shift public opinion, any policy, any kind of report financially that could really hurt Joe Biden at this point? Or is all the bad news out?
Very good question, one you don't get anywhere else, Bill. Here's what I think. Nothing significant happens. We're going to have a 1 or 2 point race as we did 4 years ago. What's most likely to happen? My guess is more bad news than good news. There could be an expanded conflict in the Middle East. We all hope that doesn't happen. If that does, the polling suggests it'll hurt Joe Biden. Inflation is stubbornly high. If it stays high, it will most likely hurt Joe Biden. If we get better economic news, lower inflation, lower prices at the pump and the grocery store, it will help Joe Biden, help him marginally, because prices are up over the term of his time in office. My best guess, close election, advantage Donald Trump for the reasons we've been discussing.
Okay, so the specter of a terror attack on the United States is high. And there's a lot of chatter, I understand. Remember, I wrote Killing the Killers. We have excellent sources in the U.S. intelligence apparatus. A lot of chatter, more chatter than usual about some kind of attack within the United States by the Islamists. This, again, is speculation. Nobody wants it to happen. And if you do want it to happen out there, you're really, in emotional trouble. You don't want people to die. All right, so your political candidate wins one way or the other. But the heightened risk of a terror attack, if it happens, that's the end of Joe Biden because of the open border, correct?
I would think more likely than not it would. There would be a very short-term country rallying around the president if a tragedy like that happened. But Bill, to be candid, given what's happened since the pullout from Afghanistan, given what's happened in Ukraine, what's happening in the Middle East, I believe if it was more than 30 days before the election, something like that, a tragedy like that happened, it would redound to the benefit of Donald Trump and the GOP.
See, I disagree with you here. I don't think Biden's going to get people coalescing around him like Bush did, because the open border is on everybody's mind. And so many people on the terror watch list have been taken into custody. These are facts. Now, it would have to be, the authorities would have to find out who the terrorists were that did this act and where they came from, but that's not that hard to do. We knew it was Al-Qaeda on 9/11 very, very quickly. We knew they were in Afghanistan, which is why we went into Afghanistan, because the Taliban wouldn't do anything about them. So if there's a terror attack, I think that just gives Trump a pass right into the White House. Let's go to falling food prices. If inflation comes down, Doug, and we only have 6 more months of reporting now, the restaurants I go to aren't dropping their prices. The grocery stores aren't dropping their, they're going to keep them there. Now, oil is a different matter. Gas prices are up and down. Now they're up 40 cents a gallon in my town in the last 3 weeks. Gas prices are up. And there's a million reasons, but food prices are going to remain stubbornly high, even if the inflation rate drops a little bit. And that's what the Democrats don't understand. They think they can sell this macroeconomic view. That's what Chris Cuomo does to me. I'll be on Cuomo tomorrow night for everybody who's interested in that on News Nation. But I say to myself, people aren't economists. They go in and they buy stuff that they used to spend 25% less. And that's not changing between now and November, Doug. It's not.
Well, 2 points, and I think you're ultimately right about that, Bill. First, people make judgments based on the totality of the experience in the last 4 years. And even if prices do come down, the net impact will be up 20, 22, 25%. Also, go back to 92, Bill. The third quarter, I think, and fourth quarter ultimately proved to be good news for George H.W. Bush, and Bill Clinton benefited at the polls because people's retrospective analysis of the economy was, as you suggested during your comments earlier, that we were in a recession, not coming out of one. So if I had to bet, as I tried to suggest, there's much more likelihood of bad news than good news for Joe Biden.
For Biden. I can't see any good news because he's never in the White House. He doesn't do anything. Blinken's over there trying to get some kind of deal, all right? And Biden and the protesters, Doug, he puts out a mealy-mouthed statement today, Biden does. I'm going to do it tomorrow because I want to analyze the statement, which is what I do now. I don't just jump at it. But we hammered him on Monday saying, where's Biden on the protests? Where is he? Nothing. And now he's put out a statement, but I got to take a look at it. Final question for you. When you come on with your analysis with me and other media people, and you tell the truth, because you do, and that's why we have you on here, do your Democrat friends get mad at you?
Oh, yes.
Do they?
Bill, we live in a country where, sadly, your talking points, your memo, are correct. It is a totally polarized world where what you say and what you believe represent a theology rather than analysis or considered reflection. The great benefit of coming on with you is you tell the truth as you know it. We disagree as adults, and I believe from the feedback I get from your viewers, they benefit greatly from the uniqueness of your broadcast.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's why we're
They
here.
do. They do.
So we'll check in with you probably late May, early June. If you get new polling, let us know, Doug. And it's always a privilege. It really is. I don't use that word a lot, but you're one of our mainline guests, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Everything is expensive these days. You know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Smart Life, Tipflation. Okay. Look, most Americans have a serious problem buying overpriced stuff. I know I do. I wouldn't say it's serious for me, but it's annoying when I know I'm getting gouged. Okay. So according to Talker Research, it conducted a survey, 2,000 Americans, all right, this month, and it says that the average American tips about $500 a year, a little bit less, but it rounded off to $500. That's what we're giving other people for good service. That's what a tip is. Okay. Now, 26% of us, according to the survey, feel under pressure to give tips. Why? Because of the gizmos. So let me tell you a story. Out in Eastern Long Island, where I am much of the time, there is a fish shop. I like it. Run by Irish immigrants. Good stuff. Very expensive. So I call them up and I order a New England clam chowder bowl, $10. Okay? All right. It's a little high, but all right. And then a fried clam dinner, $22. 32 altogether, plus the 8.25 sales tax. So now we're scraping about 34. Okay? I go in, little credit card, they have a gizmo. You turn a gizmo around, you put the credit card in, but on the screen it says tip. 18%, 20%, 25%. Then it says no tip. Now, what am I tipping for? I like these people, but all they had to do was put the soup in a cup, cook the clams, put it in a little thing, put it in a bag, and hand it to me. You know, what am I tipping for? And I'm going to slap on an 18%? I don't. But I don't feel good about it, right? You know, I'm going, hey, you're forcing me into being, parsimonious. Another word of the day. And I don't want to be in that position. But I'm 18% for handing me a bag where you've just charged me $34 for a clam thing and a chowder? All right. So it's your decision, but I never let anybody pressure me to do anything. So it's no tip. Unless they go out and, wash my car or something, then I'll give them 20. All right. Smart life. Now, there is a trend among some celebrities, James Bond, Daniel Craig, Marie Osmond, the diet maven, to say they're not going to leave any money to the kids. Okay, this is kind of a growing thing. Kids got to do it on their own. Self-reliance. We have a mug. Self-reliance. You're not getting any inheritance. I'm giving it to charity or whatever, man. Jeff Goldblum, all right, the Jurassic Park guy, you know him. Throw his picture on up there. Jeff Goldblum apparently is in that category. So he went on a podcast. He didn't explicitly say, I'm not going to leave my money to the kids, but he's basically hinting that's the case. Roll it.
Not really qualified, but I'm going to try it kind of thing for no reason. And a little bit of I think I need a job, which is pretty important. Now that I'm raising kids, I'm no, conventionalist, but I know the system that we're in, and I think sooner than later, but I don't want to scare them. They should figure out, I mean, I love the creative life. It saved my life. Yeah. But also this idea that, hey, you got to row your own boat.
I think you can row your own boat without being sanctioned by your parents as far as inheritance or help is concerned. So I disagree. I don't know where Goldblum is. He's kind of a guy that floats all over the place. But Daniel Craig, I certainly disagree with him. Marie is Marie. Different thing. Look, self-reliance is very important. If you're a parent or a grandparent, you got to preach it, preach it, preach it. And then you can see it. If the kid is actually working, trying to save money, values money, not total loon, you can see the responsibility. And you don't indulge them. I don't indulge my kids at all. I live in a regular neighborhood. I could live in a mansion. I mean, I could do a lot of crazy stuff. I don't, because I think that is corrosive to the character of children when it comes too easy. But here is the most important thing I want to tell you about this. Money buys protection from evil. Poor people have no protection from evil, and we see it every day. Criminals prey upon the poor in those neighborhoods because they cannot protect themselves. They have to live in horrible places where there's no safety. Okay? If you get sick and you don't have money, you're hosed. All right? If something happens out of the ordinary to you, like Holly, I had to save her life by spending lots of money because she had a brain tumor. Okay. It is my job to protect my children. That is job number one for me. Part of that is allowing them to have protection from the evils of the world, from the bad things that happen. Believe me, I discipline it. But when I expire and hopefully go to heaven, I don't know, it's kind of shaky, I want to leave my children protection. Okay, does that make sense for everybody? Rowing your own boat is absolutely essential. Okay, I'm not getting no Nepo kids here, even though my daughter gives me a hard time about Nepo kids. That's a long story. But no Nepo kids here. But if you're a parent with assets, and they say, this thing says Goldblum has $40 million, I don't think so. This comes from Celebrity Net Worth, which is a website. They put my net worth in there. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even in, I can't tell you. They just make it up. Anyway, Goldblum has assets. And he should, when he dies, give it to his kids down the road. My opinion. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation supports America's greatest heroes, U.S. service members, and first responders who gave their lives, those catastrophically injured in the line of duty, and homeless vets. The Foundation's Gold Star Fallen First Responder and Homeless Vet programs honor the sacrifices made by men who fought and died for us, and women who risked their lives for our country as well. The Foundation's Never Forget program engages people in 9/11 remembrances across America with more than 80 runs, walks, and dozens of golf outings every year. The Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Institute educates kids from kindergarten through 12th grade about America's darkest day, while helping our nation keep its vow to never forget. So please support Tunnel to Towers. Donate $11 a month. Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. More than 95 cents of every dollar you donate to Tunnel to Towers goes to its programs. That's T, the number 2, another T.org. Right now, there is a silent epidemic affecting 100 million Americans that nobody is talking about. It's called fatty liver. We throw everything at our liver: cholesterol, alcohol, toxins, heavy metals, statins, cigarettes. That's why so many of us have a sluggish fatty liver that makes us gain weight, lose energy, and gives us sleeping problems. Start protecting your liver today with Liver Health Formula. It's an all-natural supplement which contains botanicals that help recharge and protect your liver. This company already has helped more than 2 million fellow Americans with their products. So please try Liver Health Formula and receive a free bottle of nano-powered omega-3 to keep your heart healthy. Try Liver Health Formula by going to getliverhelp.com/bill and claim your free bonus gift. That's getliverhelp.com/bill. Okay, final thought of the day, a new study out of Columbia University, how ironic about losing your temper. So I've been known to get a little feisty once in a while. I am much better now than I used to be because I worked on it. Now, these people at Columbia University, in conjunction with the Journal of the American Heart Association, say, study 280 healthy young adults, but if you lose your temper, these 280, it hurts your heart. It gives you plaque buildup, which stops the blood flow. Even if you just lose your temper a little bit, all of that negativity comes into your body. I believe it. I believe it. Now, there are two types of anger. Immature anger. Hello, that's me. Immature anger. You know, you're frustrated, things aren't going well. You know, I never took it out on anybody. I didn't do that. But I get annoyed and angry and stupid. Like you're in a car and there's somebody driving slow or there's somebody giving you the finger. You just ignore it, okay? That's just stupid. But then there's righteous anger, where somebody does something that needs to be dealt with. Now, that anger I encourage. You got to stay under control. But we're not namby-pambies, fourth word of the day here. Somebody doing something evil. Somebody's hurting other people or you. That's righteous anger. Go right after them. Be smart, though. And if it's a little plaque buildup doing it, I'm good with it. Righteous anger is the way that evil gets confronted in this world. Remember that. But there are ways to do it. I got to tell you, when I get angry, it always comes back at me. It never really, when I calculate with the righteous anger, it turns out much better. But when I snap, no good. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. On Sunday, I'm writing a column about America's colleges, and I'm going to tell you some harsh truths. A column we posted early Sunday morning, and we'll see you again on television and radio Monday. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.